Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do Leetcode daily challenge, bag of tokens. So let us first read this question, then the constraint, then the examples, and then we'll go ahead with the intuition and then coding part of the same. So let us start with the code, not the code, but reading of this question. So you have an initial power of par and initial score of 0 and a bag of tokens where token of I is the value of I token which is already 0 indexed. So this simply refers to that you are given with this power and tokens. Basically an array or vector means something like that, and its indexing is basically 0th index. Means it will be going at the 0, 1, 2, 3 rather than 1, 2, 3. So this is the indexing portion of this. So our goal is basically to maximize the total score. That is the score which we will be getting that we need to maximize by potentially playing each token in one of the ways. So we are given with these two ways by which we can play these tokens which are being given to us. If your current power is at least token of I, you may play the I token face up, losing token I power and gaining 1 score. So the thing is that we are required to maximize our score, right? So if we have enough power, then we can easily play this token by face up, right? And at that moment, we will lose our some power, means that much power which is being required to play this token, so that we will be losing, but we will be gaining in return 1 score. That would be the scenario. But the thing is that if we don't have sufficient enough power, then we can't play that token face up. And that is the thing. For that purpose only, we can only play some specified tokens only, not every token. So what I'm saying is, see this example, the second one. So in the second example, you can see that there are 2 tokens given to us. At the starting, we have 150 power. So we can play this token face up, right? And while playing face up, then at that moment of time, when we play a token face up, then we gain 1 score. Then score becomes plus equals to 1. And the power basically becomes minus whatever token we have played. So when it becomes that much, so now the new power would be 50, as 100 would have been consumed through this. So when we are having 50 power, so with 50 power we can't play this 200 as face up. So we can only play face down to gain our power from 50 to 250. But the thing is there is no other token left, right? So that's why we won't be playing anymore and we will be returning this is as the maximum score. So the thing is there is associated with power and token in such a sense, and in playing a particular token face up or face down in such a sense that, see, if we use our power to play for a particular token in face up manner, then surely we will gain score. And our ultimate goal is basically to increase our score. But in that context, our power will decrease. But if we play a token face down, means basically, if we play a token face down, then in that particular context, our power will increase. So that will be the scenario. And that power we can use for any other token to increase our score. But at this particular moment, our score won't increase. It will remain as it is. And that, so these are the scenarios. But here our score won't increase, so that's why just doing this won't help us. when we don't have any other token left to be played. So that's why we have skipped this particular 200. So that is the only scenario. Now let us first see the constraints of this question, then we'll go ahead with the coding part. So constraints are basically token length 1000, so only 1000 tokens are being given to us. So once we traverse, that is order of n. If we traverse by twice, that is order of n square. That also will work here. That will become 10 raised to power 6, right? And the present it is 10 raised to power 3 only. So this will work and this will also work. And I guess by this we'll get some 2, I guess. So this will also work. And each token in power R till 10 raised to power 4. So that is also pretty much slow. So the constraints are pretty much slow here. So we can easily use any n square, n or nlogn thing. But let us think that how we can do this. And one more thing which is being given in this question, because we haven't read that question completely. This I have explained. So they have given that each token may be played at most once. Okay. So once it is played, we won't consider it. So the thing is that each token we can play at most once, and that also we can play in any order, and we do not have to play all tokens. So that's why this 200 was skipped, and in any order. So that's why in this third example which is being given to us, here we had played, means this we have played as face up, and this we have played face down. And the thing was that first one was this one, second one was this one. This we have played so that we gain some power. Means earlier our power was 200 and then it became 100 after playing this as face up, and then our power became 500 after playing the 400 as face down. So that's why the thing was we played this one, and now we can easily play either this one or this one. Basically 400 because we played wait, let me write it. See, we played this one, right? Let us see there only. 0 token, this we played, so 100 as face up, so our score, our power was subtracted by 100 as we played as face up, right? And then our score became 1. But as we played this third token as the face down, right? So our power became 100 but our score becomes 0. Okay, so this thing is also given here. I didn't check that. Yeah. So when we play face down, if your current score is at least 1, then only we can play face down. That is also one of the conditions. Okay. You may play the I token face down, gaining token power and losing 1 score. So that is also scenario. That if your current score is at least 1, then we will lose 1 score if we play this as face down, but we will gain power for the same. There are so many conditions. I solved this question just few minutes back only, and I just missed out the conditions. Okay, so this was all. Now let us start with the intuition part, that how we can solve this question. So let us take this bigger example itself. As you can see that we can either choose this or this in any order, right? So first thing we can do is we can sort this particular. Means when we will be sorting this, so we can easily choose our left portion where we will be having our smallest element. So while choosing this left, we will check that is that power sufficient enough. Means basically whatever will be there, let us see as P. Whatever will be there at left portion, if that particular left is basically less than our power, then we can easily increment our score, and then our power will be decreased, that is for sure, and then we will go ahead. And third thing we can check is that if our token left is basically, and this can be in the equal to case also, greater than our power. Basically we have less power. So in that case we will be decreasing our score, right? But our power will increase, because in that scenario we can play face down. But we also need to check that it is having score greater than 0 or not, because in that scenario only we can play a power down card. Power down, face down card. Yeah, so this was all we can do. But by checking these scenarios, how we can do all these things? This is basically I'm using 2 pointers. So while using 2 pointers, we can do things like this. Means first we'll sort it, and then we'll check for the left portion, and then this is although as per the case of else portion only. So here we can check as per the else portion. So the thing would be that now our rightmost we can check. And as I told that I'm using a 2 pointer approach. So the thing is that we can choose any token, thus we can sort it, and sorting will make easy to choose greater token so that we can use that power at later point of time to increase our score. And if we have sufficient power to increase score, then we can use our power. So this is the main intuition behind the same. And now comes the part for the time complexity and space complexity. So the time complexity would be simply as we will be sorting, right? So that's why time complexity becomes nlogn. And then comes the part for the space complexity. So space complexity is basically order of 1 because we are not using any extra space. Now let us go to the coding part. It is simply 2 pointers only, so that's why we are using left, right, and score and answer is being there. Then we are sorting the whole. And now comes the part that this is for the 2 pointer, that while left less than equal to right, then we will be checking that if our token of left is less than equal to power, that is our power is that much enough that we can easily play that card face up. And when we play a card face up, then we can increment our score, but power will decrease. And this is for left pointer thing that we'll go towards incrementer pointer so that we can check further. And here we will be updating our answer. Else if our token of left is basically greater than power and score is also greater than 0, means at this moment our power is not that much sufficient enough that we can play, right? So in that condition we will play the face down so that we can increment our power. And also we are required to check that if a score is basically greater than 0 or not. So if our score is basically greater than 0, then what we will be doing is at that moment of point is, then we will simply go towards the right, and in that rightmost whatsoever is the maximum power we will get it, and then decrement our right so that we do not use that particular token again and decrement the score, because we have played a token face down. And then else we will return the score if either of these condition is not true. Because when it is less than equal to, then we can play face up. When it is like this, but it is also required to have greater score. There could be scenario when the score is not greater, then in that context we are required to return the score as it is. And it is starting our score was 0. And you can see in this first example itself, here we were returning 0. Because here we were not able to satisfy either of these conditions, right? So that's why it's written like this. Now at the end we will be returning answer, because answer would be having the maximum out of whatever we have gained till now. So yeah, this was all for this particular question. I've explained the time complexity, space complexity as well, and intuition behind the same. If you have any doubt, you could comment that down. So this was all for today. Thank you.